Hey, welcome back to Wonderlust. You may have noticed a few things have moved around a bit. That's because there's a whole set of new overlays, and real quickly, I just wanted to address the fact that Michaela asked to step away from the table for a bit because of other time commitments. Maybe she comes back down the road, we'll see, but that's also why, if you've been wondering, after the last few episodes in particular, that was essentially what was going on there. There was other, story reasons too, but it was essentially folded in to help her with that. So she will be sort of gone. That's why the six of us are now bunched down here. Jason's up there. You can also see the art, which Maya's been busting her ass on for the past few months. You'll be able to see it in more detail when we switch to other overlays that have been built now, but lots of progress there. The music since the last time, all that's been happening. So just wanted to address that up front in case anybody out there was curious. That's what's going on with Maya, or Myru, excuse me. Perhaps that'll be
Maya's also leaving
down the road. Yeah, she's also leaving.
Bye.
So we'll just turn her off as well. Turn off her camera. No, we're good. And now back to your regularly scheduled Jason.
Yeah, I'm here, regularly scheduled. So you guys have had quite a day so far.
It's only half over.
Yeah.
How bad could you get?
Great question. So you've still got some day ahead of you here. You guys have been sort of resting. I would say relaxing, but that's not really what's been happening. At the Welcome Inn, trying to collect yourselves. So how would you guys like to proceed? You guys have talked about heading to Little Keslov. Yeah, what's your next step here?
Yeah, I said this off air, but Steve would definitely advocate for keeping busy, right? Like, let's not stay idle and let these thoughts just like destroy us. Let's keep busy. Let's stay active. So I say if we're gonna investigate Little Keslov, like let's do it. And I just put out a call to like, let's be ready in 15 minutes to head out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You make your rounds, knock on all the doors, let everybody know, that sort of thing. So I mean, unless anybody's got a problem with that, in roughly 15 minutes, you guys all meet back up again. But
well, Kestrel will probably step out of her room having thought long and hard about several things and kind of try to approach the group as we're sort of meeting up. And she will be like, before we go, I just want to say one last thing. I think I have lots to share in recent time. Tell you all about curiosity, the cordon, my family, and our connection to things. But I think maybe I leave some things out. Not on purpose, but... And she looks at her shackles and sort of holds them up a little bit. I think I have not yet mentioned why I wear these. And she kind of thinks a moment. She says, I tell you about my family, and when you ask about getting a connection to the tree, we are druids, yes? Do you know what druid is?
It's the first time I'm hearing of them.
I've heard before, but my druids might not be your druids.
What are your druids like?
That's a great question. Magic users who really derive their power from nature. Very one with nature, and that...
Yes.
Yeah?
Just like that, yes. She sort of thinks, do your druids also have animal spirits?
They can, definitely, yeah.
Okay. So similar for me and my family. All have our own kin spirit. Just have not shown you. It is why I wear these.
So your shackles have nothing to do with the prison where you're from?
Mm.
Well, you're not from the prison. Not. You understand what I mean, right?
Well, I get them at prison. It is complicated. It was a way of controlling my kin spirit for the scientists there, the researcher, like Rachel. They use them to control that part. My kin spirit is a little wild. I tell you, Gunnulf, remember conversation on train about the instinct, right? Hunger, anger, fear. My kin spirit contain them, and it makes her very wild. So I just wear these to control that.
Okay.
So what would happen if you took them off?
She takes them off. And, you know, the wounds in her arm heal rather rapidly, and she looks up and says, nothing. Just a little more unpredictable is all. She can have tendency to take over under stress. When I am angry, I tell you, she contains the anger, right? So when I am angry or I am in danger, sometimes she can take over from me. Is why I wear these. Want to have control all the time.
You say it's an animal. What kind of animal are you referring to?
Astral. It's who I am.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
thanks for letting us know. I won't lie and say I wasn't curious, but I appreciate you telling us.
Okay. Just, I think I get little heated about honesty before, and want to make sure that I was also being completely honest.
If you ever get to the point where you feel like you can take them off, you know, feel free. It can't be comfortable. They're digging into your wrist like that.
I think I prefer this. But thank you.
Does it feel constraining to wear the cuffs?
Not particularly. Just feels different. Muted. Like emotions less intense. Can be more myself. Feels good, actually.
Okay.
Anyway, just wanted to get that out in the open.
Okay.
Great.
Well, so now that Kestrel's had her heart-to-heart with you guys here,
Yeah.
what's your guys' next step?
Let's. God. So how far is Little Kessel from here?
Not particularly far.
So we don't need to worry. Like the wagon is for basically leaving town.
yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess let's. I would probably go to Sharp, who knows the city the best. I think out of all of us, right?
Or Gunnulf,
probably.
Oh, Gandalf does.
Yeah, because he has that shop and he visits.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, Gunnulf, if we're heading to Little Kezlov, what's the drive? How far is it away from here?
Well, I don't want to put words in for
It
you,
is not.
Jason.
It is not. It is not far.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, 15 minutes, not even. As far like in my map of the locations of Lighthaven, they're literally next to each other. Where you guys are at the Sunstop station and where the Welcome Inn is, and then where Little Keslov is, they're like right next to each other. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. It should be there pretty quickly as soon as we set out.
All right. Well, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
Yes. Kristoff is also ready. All right. Well, let's go then.
Okay.
Kristoff is ready for battle.
So
Going to
you
battle?
guys.
What?
Huh?
Oh, there's no battle. Come on. Don't start fights in the
Kristoff's
street.
giving stuff away.
Cards. The trip over there is, uneventful. The city streets are about as bustling as they usually are, despite everything that's happened elsewhere. It's not like there's any kind of martial lockdown or anything of the sort.
Probably should.
There's maybe a bit more murmur amongst the crowd as you guys leave the Welcome Inn and head out into the streets. You basically just head, kind of sneak your way through. I guess it depends if you want to take the main path and then head down, or if you just want to snake your way through the back alleys. The quickest way for someone who knows the way is probably through the back alleys, between some of the buildings and whatnot. But it's pretty. The change is subtle in a way. It's the sort of normal architecture that you're used to here in the central area, the Sunstop Station, where you showed up, you first saw the city. In many ways, as you were kind of winding yourself through these alleys, it looks very similar. But as you head, hold on, I think my direction's correct. Sort of south, sort of southeast a little bit. As you kind of head down that way, you eventually notice that there are slight changes in the architecture of some of the buildings. It's in a similar way to when you guys have traveled to some of the other areas. The populace of each area makes subtle changes to how they decide to put their little buildings together. The most noticeable thing is that the district almost seems to have kind of a fog kind of hanging over it, a bit of a pale that kind of seems to kind of hang and kind of cling around a lot of the these kind of chem lamps and stuff, the kind of standard light posts that are kind of all throughout Lighthaven. A lot more and more of them, until all of them have basically been replaced with these chem lamps. And the number of sort of glowing signs that you see, chem-lit signs, like neon signs essentially, to demarcate businesses and whatnot, continue to increase as you guys walk through it. And the buildings have a much more kind of utilitarian feel to them, with many of them completely forgoing any of the kind of usual flourishes or little decorations that you guys normally see in a lot of the other buildings elsewhere, where once you might have seen a building with lots of little sun motifs, or maybe some more floral or agricultural motifs to them, built into them. The buildings here definitely have more of a almost a brutalist utilitarian feel to them. They're just strong shapes, and they're just going to serve their function. But the lamp posts are obviously the most unique thing as you travel through them, because they are fitted with sort of a strange mechanism to them that I guess to you guys, the players, would almost look like those heat lamps that you put out on the patio or whatever. Yeah, they almost look like that, that almost have this strange sort of glow to them, that even as it's 1 o'clock or whatever, you can still notice that there's this almost, I don't know, color shifting almost that kind of goes on as you walk about here. Rosalind, there's basically no way for you not to know this, so I can just tell you otherwise, instead of making everybody guess. But these are what are more commonly known as ghost lights. They're a pretty common piece of kind of necrotech that is used in New Keslov, and they specifically illuminate ghosts underneath them. There are so many in New Keslov that the need to see them is often, so there are districts that have these so that people can just actually like talk or communicate or see ghosts, both for their own safety and for business or whatever, just for communication. And it is also these lamps that are not just the source of the sort of color shifting effect in here, but they're also kind of the source of the kind of fog that kind of clings to this area, as they not only kind of give off this pale light, but sort of this soft sort of smoky feel to them. It's the combination of the two that is what helps make the ghosts sort of visible in New Keslov, and it is part of the same kind of technology that is used in the suits for the anchorites. Essentially, this is just done on more of a location scale. But as you guys walk around, the other big noticeable thing is that there are just more anchorites present here. You see a couple of them owning shops, stalls, that sort of thing, going about their business. There's sort of a marked change in the clientele of this area, but otherwise it in many ways feels like a pretty standard district. There are businesses of different kinds, there are residential housing, there are kids running about doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Ghost kids or regular kids?
That's a great question. You'd have to go find out.
Okay.
Ghost children, yes. All Zach Baggins.
But yeah, so you've got all kinds of there's quite a few things floating about here. As you guys enter probably what Gunolf would consider sort of the main thoroughfare of Little Keslov, as you guys kind of creep through some of the back alleys and out into the main place that kind of runs from the main street down. The Whitestone Way. As you guys enter that area, you see a number of shops. They're selling all kinds of different foods. They're selling Keslovian attire, and if you guys are looking for anything, I guess let me know. There's a couple people that notice you guys as you walk in. You guys are a bit of an eclectic group. So there's one woman standing by one of the lamp poles that sort of eyeballs you guys as you walk in, kind of sizes you guys up, but stays quiet. You see a couple kids. There's two of them running about. They've got one of them's got like a little box with them, a little metal box. And they're just running about, scuffing about, like looking around a bunch of the buildings. Wasn't
there like this was revealed on the tram that there was like a specific shop or location that we were gonna start at in Little Keslov as far as like investigating or something?
I don't know that you were ever given a specific location.
Yeah, the only thing that they said was that they were going to get an arm pretty much from this location, but we weren't told exactly where.
Yeah, and to be fair, the gal that was telling you this, whose name I can't recall,
Nessa,
my brain's too fried. She didn't know the exact location either. She simply knew that if she wanted very, very cheap limb enhancements, just to go to Little Keslov and ask around.
Yeah.
So to speak.
So I would say, unless we see a neon sign saying like arm replacement shop, I would, and if we don't,
so there is a Dr. Zorvo's replacement limbs and enhancements.
that might be what I'm looking for.
So then two things real quick.
You're probably the... What's that?
One, this is more so as we were leaving the hotel, but I didn't want to interrupt. So, I mean, maybe it's spread here too. I'm just curious. Is there talk among people as we're walking through the streets? I know some of it was back alleys about the incident at tea time earlier today.
Tell you what, make me like an insight and insight. Let's do insight. Let's see how much you can pick up as you guys are roaming about the streets.
That is Sharp's character
everyone?
sheet. That is cheating.
Yeah.
I think she's better at it than I am, but we can't do that. All right.
I have to crawl on the ground.
Put yourself on blast, on big. Get all big.
I just
Show
get
the
the
people at
computer.
home.
It's like crawl like a lunatic.
Say 9 for me.
A 9 for you? Okay. So, yes, there is talk of it. At least what you assume to be it. I mean, you can easily piece some things together. You know, did you hear about like the murders over at Baker Street? You know, did you hear about all the guards that got called in? You know, oh my God, there was a massacre. Like, it's one of those things where like the 10 people got killed. Like, you can definitely tell. You can follow the line of rumor. As people are kind of murmuring, or you'll catch as you're walking by one of the stalls, one of them packing up, and they'll be like, oh, are you headed home early today? And someone will be like, well, all these crazies running around the streets today, I don't want to risk it, things like that. So it does seem like there's some level of gossip that is spread amongst the general
So it's not
populace
just
here.
another Tuesday in Little
Right.
Kozlov.
And
It is not just another Tuesday in Lighthaven where
Oh,
someone got
Lighthaven,
murdered.
right.
And I don't know that the Inquisitors could have covered up something like that. I was just curious if, feels like something like that probably spreads throughout the town. It's kind of notable, unusual.
Mhm.
And then Roz will have had like a 1,000-yard stare for most of the walk over, but upon seeing the ghost lamps, she would talk to the group about what those mean from where she's from, which you've already sort of explained. And as we're starting to survey the area, and we see the place with the limb enhancements, she'll say in a quiet voice to the group, so Steve, should we have Gunnulf remove your arm and use that as a point of conversation when we go in?
It's not a bad idea. I like it. Gunnulf.
So,
As long as it's not painful or too difficult, we can make sure it's still close by at hand.
I
But
think I wanted it to be painful, and it's not. I think it's like really smooth from what I remember, but
we just need to get Albus's cleaver and just...
yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
No, absolutely. All right, yeah. I'll take this off and, well, I also see what they have on store. I'm interested to see in what ways my design can improve.
Well, so you're gonna detach my hand, right?
off on the
So-
side somewhere, not the middle of the street.
Yeah. So while he's doing it, though, I kind of want to continue Roz's conversation. I just kind of want to be like, this world is so interesting, is the word I'll use to me, because death is just so pervasive. It just sort of blends in with the living. The lines are very thin between life and death, and where I'm from, there are different planes. Death is not necessarily the end, but it's nothing like this where it's just everyday life.
I suppose that's part of why the ghost lamps are the way they are, because people wanted a way to speak to those that they had lost, and so many people have experienced loss in one way or another. I don't know what it's like where you're from, but for us, at least for me, it felt expected. Lost my parents, lost my sister. Whether it's death or something else, it's a difficult place to make a living.
That's a good point, though. That
It's entirely it's different for humans too. Death in a general sense. It's because for us beast folk, we don't really roam the world after death. But for humans, since they have no god to call their own necessarily, they're kind of doomed to stay there in an incorporeal sense. And yeah, death is quite different, probably, that there's no way for you guys to move on.
Kester would like to butt in and say, it's because humans don't belong here. Don't come from here. The gods take all the beast folk, but not humans. We don't belong.
Sorry, distracted.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry. I kind of want to ask why they don't belong. Is that something, Steve? It could have been covered with Gunolf, but you know what? I'm just gonna wanting more information. I would say, Kestrel, explain that more to me. I've heard it here and there. What do you mean we don't belong?
Well, the beast folk were animals that existed on Chroma long time ago. And the gods chose them. That's why, like, Gunolf stands on 2 legs and talks. But humans are born of demons, of evil things. And when the demons invaded, could not stay on Chroma same way as they would in other place, not Chroma, where they come from, and then they become humans by staying here. It's why my family are druids. We wanted to connect to the earth and belong here. Is why I have my kin spirit. She connects me to Chroma. I will not be like these spirits wandering forever. When I die, I shall go to the spirit lands with my family. It's different.
So this is just a thing that everybody accepts, is humans are doomed to never rest, caught in limbo for eternity?
Maybe you.
I mean, now, of course, Sharp's not here to literally be one of those ghosts stuck in limbo forever as a part of your group. So I don't know if she would have anything to say, but yes.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it would be directed at her too. It's just like, my question is like, how, no offense is meant, but like how, so maybe I'll save it for when she gets back, but yeah, that just seems like a lot to be like, yep, that's how it is. And humans are evil. Born of demons. Humans are demons. You didn't say all humans are evil. But all humans are demons. No. To which,
Born of demons.
Sorry, what? Born of demons.
Born of demons. Yeah, we were.
I mean,
we're demons.
I'm human. I wasn't born of a demon.
What? What's that mean? Yes, you were. Come from other place, yes? Demon.
So a demon is just someone who was not born on your planet.
No. There was demons of pride, demons of envy, of lust, of... No, I don't remember all of them. Wrath? Those became orcs. I remember that. Grandfather told me. Yeah.
But those are just like sins. I know this is funny because I'm saying it's. I don't know if in D&D if those are the considered sins or what. We're getting into
I think so.
3 different mythologies are like mixed.
We're really blending them out.
Look, yeah, you're also mixing like what was the 4th edition cosmology for the demons, and I don't know if I recall exactly.
Yeah.
I want to say demons in 4th edition were they elementals? Actually, they had been removed and cast into the elemental abyss. So we're getting a little weird here.
Different pantheons.
That's where Sean likes to be.
Well, but it works because would Steve necessarily be an expert on demon? Like, probably not. But
no, and you might even confuse them with devils in D&D,
Yeah.
which would probably more closely align to kind of what they're talking about here, especially by like 4th edition standards. But we are jumping back a couple of editions
Yeah.
by my own
So,
brain, so
Kestrel, I visited a hellscape in my travels, and those were demons, and they did not look like my group. I'm just confused. This is all very confusing. This world is very confusing. Ghost lamps are very confusing. Sharp as a existence. Sorry, Sharp.
Sharp's just waving.
It's just it's all confused. It's just a lot to take in. That's all.
Castro will like to tell you. I explain concept, right? Make gods, right? Similar principle. Not all gods are good, and not all concepts are good. So, come from those not good concepts. Is why we don't look like everyone else. Like Gunolf is dog.
Gunolf is a dog.
Yeah.
Just
We
kind of
don't-
scratch
we don't
behind
look
my
like
ear.
that.
with your not your top hands, but your bottom. Hands.
His
No.
foot. Yeah, he brings
Oh,
his
yeah.
foot all the way up to his ear.
Well, I suppose Gunolf is the hand attached at this point, or no?
I think at the end of this conversation, it'd be detached, and I'm actually curious to see if the ghost lamps would illuminate your cut off hand.
Do you say that?
No, I don't say that.
okay.
I'm just curious.
Is that because unless we're under a ghost lamp, I don't think Steve
Curiosity.
necessarily wants to know the answer to that question. It's all very weird. It's a lot to take in. So I guess, Jason, are we under a ghost lamp? Will we pass a ghost lamp?
You guys would probably pass a ghost lamp at some point.
Okay. And what happens?
I suppose the answer to that, I have to decide here. This is a big question. I suppose the answer is that it probably does show up faintly. You can see the thinnest reflection of your hand underneath it.
But doesn't my ghost look different?
Yes.
And would that show up differently, or was that just in the spirit lands?
Okay. So the answer is yes, but I don't know what frame of reference you have.
That's true.
Like you don't have another ghost hand to compare it to.
No,
to be like,
no.
"Mine looks a little
So I might
different."
not notice, but like, does it looks the same as it did in the spirit land? So Kestrel would maybe notice.
I mean, she would certainly recognize that it has that different sort of stylistic feel to
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a quick question about the ghost lamps.
Sure.
So it's a limb. It's not like a person. Are we able to just see anything that's been like removed from a person, or is something about Steve very special that we would actually see it?
So it is more or less illuminating like the soul, the spirit.
Okay.
So because his soul is still effectively attached, even though he has no physical limb, you can still kind of see that sort of echo of it.
Okay.
But a full-on ghost, which is this like someone's full spirit, that can then be seen or as it manifests amongst it, essentially.
And is that a universal rule, or is that special to like select people? If they're like missing a limb, like if I was missing a limb, would I still see mine?
Yeah.
You should still see
Okay.
yours. Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Are you thinking of?
No. I just want to make sure that like
Science.
Steve wasn't like something, ethereal going on with his arm or something like
No.
that, or like it had its own personality, like it
He's
was
the
a
most
phantom limb.
he's the most unspecial guy that you can imagine. Although he's very handsome.
You're starting to become cooler though.
Yes, he is.
You keep saying
But like,
that, but
I don't know. So this is where like you. So the stylistic difference in Steve's soul is probably more noticeable in this than anything else. As weird as it sounds, his physical body made the translation in such a way that he looks pretty normal, but his soul doesn't do that.
Gotcha.
So when you're looking at his soul, you guys, man, it's really independent. In fact, if you want to see if you can notice the stylizes, like the difference, that's like, what is that? An insight? Is that a willpower?
I feel like I was just gonna point it out, honestly.
Oh,
fair.
sure, go for
Yeah.
it. That makes it easier. Yeah.
I was just gonna point at his hand and be like, Steve, why are your hands so weird?
Well, what do you mean? Well, it's off. For one, it got cut off by a bitter enemy of mine. But I mean, and I guess I would look. It would be jarring to me to look at this ghost hand But like, yep, that's what my hand used to look like way back when.
Look very different than everyone else's. In the spirit land, look different too. Wasn't good time to say anything though. But why? Why you look so different?
You're saying my soul looks different than everybody else's?
Nods enthusiastically.
I am not an expert. I would guess it's because I'm not from this world.
I don't understand. I struggle to grasp the concept.
Yeah, I'm not from this
like-
world, but like, not planet. Do you know planet? If I say planet, you get what I mean, right?
Different, not chroma?
Not chroma, but not even like there is. Jason, is there a fucking moon in this?
There is a moon.
So you know the moon in the sky. I'm not from there either. Not like anywhere around here or in space. Like a different dimension entirely. Different rules, different species, different laws, different magic. Is why my sword used to do pretty neat things. I could teleport. I could yank it from across the planet. Now it's just metal. It doesn't really do anything. I could talk to the spirits in the sword. I miss those guys. It's just
I'll
been
look
me.
at the sword and check to see if there's anything underneath the ghost lamp.
Oh yeah.
I can pretty confidently say that there's nothing.
There is nothing.
Maybe there
Correct.
could have been, but it's just metal now. It's just a
Maybe
cool
if we
looking
break
sword.
it.
And nothing as far as even some traces.
In fact, I used to be able to change the shape of my sword. I wish, had I known that this shape was the last one it would ever be, I maybe would have changed it a little bit from there too, but it is what it is.
And now you're a weeb forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so different. Just take my word for it. Maybe you can visit my world sometime. It went through a bit of a crisis lately, but it's pretty good now. Thanks to yours truly. And some
And
friends.
Kestra's gonna lean in and look really intently at you and say, Steve, that sounds very strange and very weird. And just kind of back up and look at him funny.
Well,
He's just saying a bunch of wild shit.
you can say it's weird. My world's not the one with ghost lamps.
Yeah. It's normal. Well, actually, I don't know anything about this. This is all weird to me, too.
Yeah, so we agree that it's all weird.
Ghost's not weird.
Ghosts are not weird? Ghosts are kind of weird. They're kind of weird. Sorry again, Sharp. It's hard to have this when you're here.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
revolving
Sharp.
around ghosts.
Sharp's very offended right now, but she's not here
she's
to
so
defend herself.
offended, she's giving us the silent treatment.
Mhm.
All right, so I guess from here I would say, okay, well, anyways, back to the task at hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gunolf, why don't you go with me? Because I'm a demon here, and no one's gonna like talking to me. So you give me some street cred.
We're a little bit surrounded by human souls. I think you'll be fine. But yes, absolutely. Let's go.
Well, just do your cute dog face thing, and just help it go smoothly. Put on your charm. So I'm gonna go talk. I'll talk, and then you talk when you sense it's getting out of hand, or right away.
And-
Do whatever you want.
So
Um,
immediately.
So Jason, we're gonna go into this doctor whoever's shop for limbs and stuff.
Dr. Zorvo's replacement limbs and enhancements.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you guys pop into the shop, and it's a quaint little joint. There's a little ding-a-ling, little rustle of some metal as you guys enter. There's a lot of contraptions in this place, hanging from everywhere as you guys come in are all kinds of replacement limbs. You got arms, legs, just like hands, all kinds of stuff. You even see a couple of like spines, Like there's a lot of stuff all over this.
Can I ask? Like, are they assembled? Are they like cat grouped together, like a limb, like an arm aisle and like a hand aisle, or is it all like random and hanging and?
No, they're pretty well organized, I would say.
And is it organized from like cheapest to nicest? Like, is there a premium?
There must be some sort of organization that you're not 100% familiar with.
Okay.
It's not like it's all hands on one side of the store, all legs. But as you look at each group, there is a noticeable change in like quality or material or construction between a lot of them. So there is something to it. Whether or not you truly understand it or not is, I guess, another question.
Have I seen anything that is immediately nicer than Gunnolf's hand for me?
Probably.
Yes,
Probably.
I would say.
Okay.
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Don't be so hard on yourself, Gunnar.
That was because I was curious, but also kind of want to see, like, is this a potentially legit nice shop, or is it like, I don't know, Cyberpunk 2077, where it's like a bunch of
Is this like the Ripper Doc?
Yeah.
This is not like the Ripper Doc in the back alley
Okay.
who wants to sell. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So I guess we approach the front desk or look for someone.
Yeah. So there is a man of maybe mixed sort of elven ancestry. You can notice a certain point to his ears, and he's a little on the thinner side. But whether or not that's just diet or otherwise, it's hard to tell. A bit older, maybe in his late 40s. Keeps himself kind of bald. He's got like a little pair of spectacles on him. Decently well dressed for what it is. It's almost like if you're going into like a men's tailor shop kind of thing. He's dressed decently well. But he takes note of you guys entering.
So before we Gunnolf, really quick, just follow my lead. Let's keep a low profile. I'm gonna be Dimitri. You think of your name. I'm gonna introduce you. I'll kick it to you. That'll be your name, okay? Just be ready. Okay, that's good enough for me. So,
Okay.
so I'll
I can't wait to find out that Gunolf knows the shopkeeper.
God, I really hope you come up with a really stupid name, like in Psych.
no. So
we know how Gunolf's taste in names. Let's be honest.
So I'll say, hello, good sir. Are you Dr. Zorvo? I'm looking for limb for my hand. As you can see, it's gone. And this is my friend, Juju.
Okay. Juju.
Hello, my name is Jujur Kasim Tana Aravend. Nice to meet
he
you.
gives you his full name. That's a sign of respect.
And man,
This doctor has not said a word yet.
Deception check. This guy has to be like, what is happening right now? What even is that? Willpower and like insight.
Let's see. Discretion is interrogate, persuade, effort, endure, deception.
Well, someone's gonna have to endure.
Intimidate is might and willpower.
I'm gonna say insight and willpower.
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
Okay, interrogate. We're interrogating. Oh
Yeah.
no, there's persuade.
Yeah,
No, there's
persuade.
persuade. I'm gonna put it in persuade.
Okay. Persuade with your lies.
Okay, decent. Should I use a Fabula point to bump it up to 10? and
Yeah,
meet
of
that
course.
second metric?
Of course.
Let's see. So I'll think of the bond between me and Steve, and like he said, I'm gonna follow his lead, and I'm gonna stay loyal and latch on to this ruse we're putting on and bump it up to 10.
Okay. Steve, did you have a roll?
Oh yeah, 11.
Sorry. So you guys, you make your pitch, I suppose, and the guy just sort of looks at the both of you and goes, yes, well, Dimitri and Juju, was it? What can I do for you? A hand, you said? What are you in the market for?
Let me think. What? We come to this little Keslov because we hear great advancement happened very quickly. We're interested in something like that. I don't just want any old hand. I want nice hand.
And he certainly gives you a look. Oh boy. Actually, make an insight, a double insight check from both
God
of you
damn
on
it.
this one.
Okay.
No one wants a nice hand.
Yeah.
Let's see. 7's not great. Doug, can you tell me what? Because I thought I could scroll over and it would tell me what. Oh no, it's right there. So I rolled a 5 and a 2. I want to re-roll the 2. That's not.
Reroll the 2.
I think I want to spend a point to re-roll the 2. Feel like maybe Steve's done this plenty of times before, and he feels like his performance is lacking a little bit. He wants to really put some extra juice into it.
Insight, though, your number 1 stat, huh?
Yeah, right. How do I do? It's like R D
R
Slash?
/R space D whatever.
/R space D6. 4. Okay,
A little better.
so that's a 9. That's pretty good.
And then you can add another Fabula to bump it up to 10. I don't know.
I don't think I have any more.
Oh, well.
I think
One and
that's
only.
my one and only.
Mhm.
Get sick.
Spend it-
That's the answer that I
spend
have
it freely.
for that. You just got to get sick and then constantly have it make you
Yeah.
roll once.
That's the key.
So you have a what?
9.
A 7?
He has a 9 and I have a
9.
10.
9 and a 10. Okay. There is something to the look of his face, as you mentioned, looking for higher quality limbs, but you don't quite catch what it is. He rolled quite well in this contested roll.
Son of a bitch.
Unfortunately. He crit, actually.
Dr.
so
Zorvo,
you guys-
you piece of shit.
You.
You're not Dimitri
I
at
just-
all.
You're not Dimitri. Well, I do have a number of high quality limbs, about the highest quality you'll find here in Little Keslov. I make them myself. Some of them are special ordered parts and whatnot. From New Keslov directly, a couple from the Draconic Empire. But what exactly are you looking for? You say nothing like this. What do you know about replacements? What kind of expert are you?
Not a lot. Maybe I'll let my friend talk. He knows more about the mechanical side of things.
Yes. I'm here to help with the inspection and making sure that it is of acceptable quality as we go on our journey.
And he just sort of looks you up and down and goes, "And you're an expert, I take it?"
I have dabbled and I've made a limb or two in my time.
A dabbler. Yes, well, here I make high quality goods. It's not exactly in the market for everyone.
Mhm.
If you're looking for something cheap, you won't find it here. There are a couple other places. There's a scrap heap I might be able to point you towards if you're looking for something cheap. Unless, well, you're desperate, I suppose, but
Money is no
What exactly-
option, okay? We can get plenty of money. I just don't want any old hand. And we heard on our way into Lighthaven, this is the place to go for some advanced tech, all the bells and whistles.
And he nods. He goes, "Well, you heard right, of course. Made by yours truly here, but okay, then come look." And he kind of gives your limb a look as he does, and walks you guys over to an area that has basically the limbs that would fit exactly what you're looking for. So like not like a full length arm or anything of that, but just sort of the forelimb into the hand and that kind of thing. And he starts basically just kind of showing you what he's got. There are sort of like basic, a bit more skeletal models that are, I would say, bare bones. That I mean that almost literally. Some of them actually have bones in them as well, but they're like very mechanical. And others look a bit more like what Gunolf had built, where there's sort of the outer casing that looks like skin to a certain degree, with a lot of the mechanisms sort of hidden inside of it. And there are even some that are that, but kind of even one step further. Some of them even use like bits of cloth to where like the skin would be, so they almost have a bit more of a realistic look to them, with like a sort of the metallic skeleton underneath, and then like really stretched cloth to them. Some of them look like they maybe wouldn't be the best for like combat or like your uses, but like if you were just using them for everyday life, they look rather fancy. Like the almost like silks are used in them, like fine embroidery and whatnot. Like there is a very large selection here of the kinds of replacements that you could have.
So I guess I was just like, oh, this, it looks so great, so many options. And I would look at Gunolf and kind of like make eye contact and like look, like, do you notice, is there anything interesting here?
Gunolf, it would be taking a look and seeing if the with the more battle-ready armors, what kind of enhancements they would do for someone that is also is missing a limb, to the point where maybe somebody would even be like, man, I gotta chop off my hand and get that thing.
So I maybe made a mistake bringing Gunolf, because I was wanting Gunolf to be like, is there anything weird here? And Gunolf's like, oh man, I'm getting so many ideas.
Yeah, so if you want to take a look around, I guess the reality is that there are one or two kind of specialty ones that you notice that do look like they would offer enhancements, but the enhancements that they offer are nothing that you find particularly like off market. They are the sort of thing where like there are some magical runes carved into them, but they are priced accordingly. They're rather expensive, and the magic used to like say like make whatever the enhancement is, whether that is like increasing someone's like awareness or like their charisma or whatever, like depending on what it is and the kind of enhancement it is and the kind of limit is, it looks pretty normal. I mean, it's weird to say about magical limbs, but like nothing looks out of the normal here.
So I would say not bad, but my associate and I, we've seen better. I think we're looking for something a little more off market, if you catch my drift. It's like, no, what are you talking about?
Those words mean nothing.
And
I run it now in the shop, sir.
there is there's sort of a bit of a sigh, maybe a reluctance, and a bit of a raised eyebrow, and like it's almost as though you have insulted him to some degree, but this is not the first time he's hearing this. And he kind of stops from the limb that he was in the middle of showing you and kind of turns around, and it's just like, everything I have here, everything I make is on display. But if you are looking for more dramatic enhancements, there are other options within Lighthaven. I cannot say that I approve of them or their results, but who am I to question so-called progress? And then he kind of walks over closer to where like the little register that he kind of has is, and he pulls, there's a little stack of papers, and he pulls one of them off, and he walks over and he hands it to you, Steve. Dimitri. And
Thank you.
And on it is it's a piece of paper, and it has sort of this like cog symbol on it. And he just goes, "Head to Sun's Rest. I'm sure you'll find your way."
thank you. I appreciate your help. You seem a bit upset at the rising competition. What's going on there? Care to elaborate?
And he kind of gives you maybe a bit of a dirty look. And he goes, I have no concerns about competition. I make the finest stuff here in Little Keslov. The finest, well, if what you're looking for is beyond this, then I wish you the best of luck. You and every other riffraff who can't pay what I'm worth are welcome to what it is you get. Now, if you'll excuse me, please make room for people who are looking to pay.
Yes, she's...
I'd be surprised if he didn't absolutely recognize one of his direct competitors. And that being me.
Well,
I mean,
Maybe he doesn't see you as a
Do
competition.
you make a lot of limbs?
I have limbs on display.
I guess that's true. I don't know that he would consider you competition though.
That's true.
damn.
But that's a Dr. Orzhov pride thing.
We're gonna have to have a limb off at some point. If we just have a whole plot of like a market battle between Gunolf and this doctor, that would be
Mhm.
great. Okay, well, we will leave you to your limbs then. Thank you. Goodbye. Unless my associate has anything more to say. Are you good, Juju? You want to go?
I'm good. I've seen everything that I need to see here. It's a very interesting shop, and I do agree that these are of superior quality.
Oh, hey, well, what a nice thing to say. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
And he shoos you guys out. Even your compliments basically go by. It's like, oh, they looks great. And he's like, of course, of course. And then
All right, guys. So I'm assuming we're back to the group now. We got a lead.
Yeah, what was everybody?
Oh.
What was everybody else talking about
Oh, yeah.
outside?
Standing in awkward silence.
Awkward silence the whole time.
I don't know. I mean,
Make a double insight check. You guys are outside.
okay. Do I gotta use this stupid roller?
Can I automatically fail it?
You can. Would you like to?
I would.
Okay.
He doesn't have the ability to get a Fabula point for that, though.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Nope.
Are you? Is Rosalind distracted?
Mhm.
Is that what this is? Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, she doesn't give a damn about what's around her at the moment, so she's gonna fumble that automatically.
Okay.
A 9 and a 1.
Still a 10.
What is life?
A 10's pretty solid.
A miserable
Okay.
pile of secrets. Oh, no, that's different. Never mind.
I'm miserable.
Mm.
Albus,
That's what a
you're
man
outside.
is.
Yes, I am.
Roll.
Give us rolls,
Bro,
sir.
what do you want me to roll?
Insight.
Insight.
Insight. Sister.
And let's see what's Maisie's? It's also D10s. Right?
Mhm.
Yes. Her insight, I think, is her best stat.
It is. Is it D10s?
Yeah.
Or D12s?
Yep.
Tens.
It wouldn't be
Oh,
D12s.
she rolled a 5.
God damn it, Maisie.
First roller.
We're not spending her Fabula points without her permission.
Absolutely not.
But she
Not
did try.
working. Let me close it again and open it.
Jason, what's the name on that card again? The
Sun's Rest.
Sun's Rest.
Oh, there is no
Yeah.
name on the card. Merely the symbol of the cog.
Oh,
Oh.
But he did direct you to Sun's Rest.
okay.
Rolled an 11.
Nice roll.
Hey. Well, 2 people did well.
Mhm.
What'd you get, sir?
He got an 11.
11.
An 11. Okay. I guess I can sign into Roll20 as well. I just like I like asking you guys to say it so people that are listening know. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so 11's high enough. I mean the 10 was. So Rosalind is lost in thought. Way too much on her mind. But you two guys notice that those kids that were running around earlier are they're not just like futzing about or like playing a game. You notice that they are chasing something. They are specifically chasing like and you finally catch what it is that they're doing, as they basically were kind of crouched over by a building, and they were digging around, they were moving stuff about, and then this little, what looks like a roach goes skittering out, and like then they start chasing it and trying to catch it essentially, until one of them kind of leaps onto it, cups their hands around it, and then the other one's got the little box, and it sort of they kind of like slide the box open and they dump the other one in there, and then they close the box up real quick, and then they talk excitedly amongst each other, and then they go running about to like the next building, and they keep looking around for stuff.
Gross.
Catch that bug.
Gross.
That's strange.
Catch the bug.
Did dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably find a way.
This was just standing outside with two people who she's not super on great terms with, and Albus. So
Well, at least the person who you're on good terms with also noticed. That's good.
that's good. I'm just gonna kind of, I don't care if he noticed, you know, I'm just gonna kind of tug his sleeve and look and like point at it and stuff. What do you think they're doing? You know?
I think they're catching bugs.
Like to eat? Or did you cook with that?
I could try. I've never actually cooked with bugs before.
Okay.
How many kids were there? There were two?
There's two kids.
And it's just
yeah.
like regular sized roaches. They're not like ROSs kind of thing.
They're not like, these are not like rad roaches or something.
Okay.
I think this is not. They're not dog-sized ones or anything like that. No. I mean, it looked like a regular-sized roach. Okay. It maybe looked a little different than a regular roach, but it was like a regular-sized roach.
All right, interesting.
You must be hungry.
I don't know if they're gonna eat them or not. I wouldn't.
What would you do with it?
Nothing. I wouldn't be catching it for one. I wonder why they're catching the bugs.
And then I'm just gonna kind of side-eye like Rosalind and Sharp, very quiet people. And I don't know if I want to involve them, but just kind of look at Albus and go, want to go see what they're doing?
I'm curious. Yeah, let's go check it out.
Not curious.
That's taking the Lord's name in vain, sir.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Inquisitive.
Saved.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. I'm just gonna kind of like, what do I saw where they went, right?
Yeah, they're
run
actually
off
just
somewhere.
kind of futzing around. They're like, they were on one side of like the alley between these two buildings, and they're just literally on the other side, rooting around some of the other like boxes and other stuff that are on the sides of the buildings and whatnot. Yeah.
So before we turn off and just fuck off, I'm gonna look at like Sharp and Rosin and be like, we're gonna go look at those roaches. We'll be back.
And I guess Sharp probably okay, if I had to guess how Maisie would respond. And,
Probably. I would agree with that.
and
Yeah.
Roz sort of stared off in the distance, just sort of like absentmindedly nods. And that's about all you get out of her.
Okay. Okay.